Hari Om, children. Welcome to the Samskriti session. We'll start the program with prayer. I think the three sisters have joined after 2-3 weeks, I think, a gap of 2-3 weeks. So they can repeat today's prayers. Okay?
Yes.
Vaishnavi sisters. Yeah. Om Vakratunta Mahakaya Surjakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा.
Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Thank you. Now we will start with Vishnu Sahasranama, Shloka number 39. Okay. So as Soumya ma'am has told, when somebody is chanting, others also chant along with us in your mute state. Okay. So that you will get a good practice. We'll start with them only. Vaishnavi will start first.
Yes.
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajno Havirharihi.
अतुल सरभो भीमा समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo Lakshmivan Samitinjayah.
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः.
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajno Havirharihi.
अतुल सरभो भीमा समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo Lakshmivan Samitinjayah.
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः.
Viksharo Rohito Margo Heturdamodarah Sahah.
भिक्षरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः.
Mahidaro Mahabhago Vegavanamitashanah.
महीदारो महाभोगो वेगवानमिताशनः.
Mahidaro Mahabhago Vegavanamitashanah.
महीदारो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः.
Viksharo Rohito Margo Heturdamodarah Sahah.
भिक्षरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः.
Mahidharo Mahabhago Vegavanamitashanah.
महीदारो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः.
Thank you. Next, Deshika. Udbhavakshobhano Devasri Garbho Parameshwarah.
उद्भव शोभनो देव श्रीगर्भ परमेश्वरः.
Karanam Karanam Karta Vikarta Gehano Guhah.
करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
उद्भवक्षोभणो देव श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः
उद्भव क्षोभनो देव श्रीगर्भ परमेश्वरः
करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः
करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः
परर्दि परमस्पष्ट तुष्टः पुष्ट शुभेक्षणः
परदीप परमस्पष्ट तुष्ट पुष्ट सुभीक्षणः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः
परर्दि परमस्पष्ट तुष्टः पुष्ट शुभेक्षणः
परदि परमस्पष्ट स्तुष्ट पुष्ट सुभीक्षणः
Thank you. Next. Again we will start 39. Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajño Havirharihi
अतुल शरभो भीमा समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo Lakshmivan Samitinjayah
सर्वलक्षण लक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajño Havirharihi
अतुल शरभो भीमा समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo Lakshmivan Samitinjayah
सर्वलक्षण लक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः
महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
वृक्षरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः
महीधरो महाभागो हेतु मेघवानमिताशनः
Very good. Thank you. Now next, who is going to repeat? Who has not done last week, they can do.
I think Vedant has raised his hand.
Vedant. Okay, Vedant did not chant it last week. Yes. Vedant, ready? Are you ready, Vedant?
I'm ready.
Udbhava Kshobhano Deva Shigarbhah Parameshwarah
उद्भवक्षोभनो देव श्रीगर्भ परमेश्वरः
Karanam Karanam Karta Vikarta Gehano Guhah
कथनं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः
Udbhava Kshobhano Deva Shigarbhah Parameshwarah
उद्भवक्षोभनो देव श्रीगर्भ परमेश्वरः
Karanam Karanam Karta Vikarta Gehano Guhah
करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः
Vyavasayo Vyavasthana Samsthanasthanado Dhruvah
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः
Parardi Paramaspashta Tushta Pushta Shubhekshanah
पदत्ते पदमस्पष्ट श्रुत दुष्ट सुभीक्षणः
Vyavasayo Vyavasthana Sansthanasthanado Dhruvah
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानः स्थानदो ध्रुवः
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट तुष्टः पुष्ट शुभेक्षणः.
प्रसिद्धि परमस्पष्ट हृष्टपुष्टविभूषणः.
Thank you, Vedant. Next, again we will repeat.
Nitika.
Nitika. Are you ready?
Yes, Amma.
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajno Havirharihi.
Atul Sarabho Bhima Samano
Samayajno
Samayajno
Havirharihi.
Havirharihi.
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajno Havirharihi.
Atul Sarabho Bhima Samayajno
Samayajno
Hari Vara
Havir Harihi.
Havirharihi.
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo
Sarvalakshanya
Lakshmivan Samitinjayah.
Lakshmi Vansamitinjayah.
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo
Lakshmivan Samitinjayah.
Lakshmi Vansamitinjayah.
Atula Sharabho Bhima Samayajno Havirharihi.
Atula Sarabho Bhima Samayo Havihi
Samayajno
Samayajno
Havirharihi.
Havirharihi.
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo
Sarvalakshana Lakshanyo
Lakshmivan Samitinjayah.
Lakshmi Vansamitinjayah.
Viksharo Margo
Viksharo Rohito Margo
Hetur Damodara Sahah.
Heturda Modarasa Saha.
Viksharo Margo
Viksharo Rohito Margo
Hetur Damodara Sahah.
Heturdamo Darasaha.
Mahidharo Mahabhago
Mahidaro Mahabago
Vegavanamitashanah.
Vegavanamitasanaha.
Mahidharo Mahabhago
Mahidaro Mahabago
Vegavanamitashanah.
Vegavanamitasanaha.
Viksharo Margo
Viksharo Rohito Margo
Ketur Damodara Sahah.
Heturdamo Darasaha.
Mahidharo Mahabhago
Mahidaro Mahabago
Vegavanamitashanah.
Vegavanamitasanaha.
Thank you. Next two slokas. Somebody else?
Rakshita. Yeah, Rakshita, can you unmute?
Yes, Amma.
Okay. Udbhavakshobano Deva.
Udbhavakshobhavadena
Udbhavakshobano Deva.
Udbhavakshobhano Deva
Shri Garbha Parameshwarah.
Shri Garbha Parameshwaraha.
Udbhavakshobano Deva.
Udbhavakshobhano Deva
Shri Garbha Parameshwarah.
Shri Garbha Parameshwaraha.
Karanam Karanam Karta.
Karanam Karanam Karta
Vikarta Gehno Guhah.
Vikarta Gahano Guha.
Karanam Karanam Karta.
Karanam Karanam Karta
Vikarta Gehno Guhah.
Vikarta Gahano Guha.
Udbhavakshobano Deva.
Udbhavakshobhano Deva
Shri Garbha Parameshwarah.
Shri Garbha Parameshwaraha.
karanam karanam karta
करणं कारणं कर्ता
vikarta gehano guhah
विकर्ता गहनो गुहः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
संस्थान स्थानदो ध्रुवः
संस्थान स्थानदो दुहः
ध्रुवः
ध्रुवः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानो
व्यवस्थान
व्यवस्थान
संस्थान स्थानदो ध्रुवः
संस्थान स्थानदो ध्रुवः
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परर्दी परमस्तष्ट
तुष्टः पुष्ट शुभेषणः
तुष्ट पुष्ट सुदेशनः
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
तुष्टः पुष्ट शुभेक्षणः
दुष्ट स्पुष्ट सुभेक्षणः
It is not dushta, it is tushta. Okay? Tushta pushta shubhekshanah.
तुष्ट पुष्ट सुभेक्षणः
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
संस्थान स्थानदो ध्रुवः
संस्थान स्थानदो ध्रुवः
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
तुष्ट पुष्ट शुभेक्षणः.
तुष्ट स्पुष्ट सुभेक्षणः
Thank you. One more child can repeat. Two more can repeat all the 4 slokas.
Virat has raised his hand.
Virat ready?
Yes, Sama.
Atula sharabho bhima
अतुल शरदोदीन
शरभो भीमा
अतुल शरभो भीम
समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
समयज्ञो हविर्हविः
हविर्हरिः
हविर्हरिः
अतुल शरभो भीमा
अतुल शरभो भीम
समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
अतुल शरभो भीम
अतुल शरभो भीम
समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो
विक्षरो रोहितो मार्गो
हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
हेतुर्दामोदर सहः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो
विक्षरो रोहितो मार्गो
हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
हेतुर्दामोदर सहः
महीधरो महाभागो
महीधरो महाभागो
वेगवानमिताशनः
वेगवानमितांशः
अमिताशनः
अमितांशनः
महीधरो महाभागो
महीधरो महाभागो
वेगवानमिताशनः
वेगमानमितांशनः
विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो
विक्षरो रोहितो मार्गो
हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः
हेतुर्दामोदर सहः
महीधरो महाभागो
महीधरो महाभागो
वेगवानमिताशनः.
वेगवानमितांशनः.
Thank you, Virat. 2 more slokas. Who can repeat? Last one.
Vishruta raised her hand.
Vishruta.
Yes,
उद्भवक्षोभणो देव
उद्भवशो मनो देव
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
उद्भवक्षोभणो देव
उद्भवशो मनो देव
शोभा शोभणो देव
उद्भवशोभनो देव
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
करणं कारणं कर्ता
करणं कारणं कर्ता
विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
उद्भवक्षोभणो देव
उद्भवशोभनो देव
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः.
करणं कारणं कर्ता
करणं कारणं कर्ता
विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
विकर्ता गहनो गुहः.
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परद्धि परमस्पष्ट
तुष्टः पुष्टशुभेक्षणः.
तुष्टपुष्टसुभेक्षणः.
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परद्धि परमं दष्ट
परमस्पष्ट
परमस्पष्ट
तुष्टः पुष्टशुभेक्षणः.
तुष्टपुष्टसुभेक्षणः.
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः.
परर्दी परमस्पष्ट
परद्धि परमस्पष्ट
तुष्टः पुष्टशुभेक्षणः.
तुष्टपुष्टसुभेक्षणः.
Thank you, Vishudha. We'll stop now. Children, please keep practicing. After 50, we all will have a revision again. Okay? Thank you. Over to Sudha, ma'am.
Home to all children. So, first of all, I'm going to ask you a question. Can you think of any natural wonder which you admire? Some natural beauty which you felt like saying, so awesome. Anything which comes to you. Huh?
Waterfalls.
Waterfalls. Yes. Go on, others. Quick, quick, quick.
Flowers.
Flowers.
The God section in Dharmasthala, near to Dharmasthala.
Okay,
God
God
section.
section.
Western
Oh,
Ghats.
anything else? Just wonder, beauty. Huh? Which you-
Amma, this is Hasan. If you rare animal.
Rare animals.
Rare
Yes.
animals. Okay.
Ma'am, can I say Vishruta?
Ah,
Ma'am, ma'am, all the gifts that God has given us, nature is a wonder for me.
okay. All
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Nature
Yes,
itself.
we are coming to that.
Beach.
Beach.
Amma, this is Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna.
Yes.
Amma, the plants that are shaped in the shapes of animals, those are
Okay.
precious for me.
Okay, there are
Topiary. It's called
innumerable
topiary.
things. There is no end if you go on telling nature's beauty is plentiful, wonderful. So actually, from this, what do we realize? That expresses God's glory, God's power, God's wisdom, God's creativity, God's love for us. And finally, these things tell us God's presence. See, who makes pots? You all know. Who makes pots? He's called pots, clay pots.
Potter.
You don't know? Potter. Who makes gold ornaments?
Ma'am, jeweler.
Goldsmith.
Goldsmith. Who makes furniture?
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Can you make a beautiful rainbow, sunshine and sunset? Different kinds of animals, birds, as you all said, waterfall.
Ma'am, the
Can you
creator.
make those things?
God.
So who makes all these?
God.
God. So we all believe there is a supernatural power, a divine principle called God. He only can make these things. Everything man cannot make. And not only God creates, He maintains that order also. You see, planets. Planets are all moving in a particular route with a particular speed. Do they collide with each other? They have been moving like this for so many thousands of years. So an order is mentioned like that. Can you think of more orders in nature? Anything else which comes regularly? Think of that.
The sun. From the sun.
Weathers.
Yes, weather seasons. Seasons.
Solar eclipses,
Winter
ma'am.
comes after spring, then summer, then autumn, then food cycle, water cycle, everything are and even our body, inside our body, breathing is happening,
Food
blood
chain.
circulation is going on. Yes, food chain. Inside our body, breathing is happening, digestive system is going on, blood circulation is happening. Our organs are so intricately designed. All these things are created and maintained only by God. We cannot make such things. So that is why it makes us develop faith in God. By seeing these things, we develop faith in God. Last week, you heard Prahlada story. What did you learn from that Prahlada story? What happened to Prahlada? Huh? You remember?
He overcame all the list which Prahlad father said, and he finished him.
No, he could be say he got saved from every whatever his father.
Amma, I prayed to God in
God
times of
saved. So
difficulty.
such miracles also God can perform. But when you totally surrender to Him, when you have total faith in Him, God creates miracles also. So that faith is what you see, actually, there was in a village, there was no rain for many years. So the villagers, they started prayers for getting rain. While they were all praying, one little boy was sitting there with an umbrella. Why he was doing like that? Can you say?
This is Hastin Ishalai.
Yes.
Amma, because he had a faith in himself that the rain would come.
Yes, himself in his prayer and in God. By praying, he believed that rain would come. So he was carrying that umbrella. That belief is there. See, when you throw a small baby up, it smiles. It is not crying because it knows his mother is there to catch him. So that faith you should develop in God. That is what we need. And some people, they don't believe in God. You know what are they called? There is a name for such people who don't believe in God. Anyone knows?
It is Gnostic. Say this.
Nastik, right?
Nastic, or in English, what do you say?
Atheists.
Atheists. Atheists. They don't believe in God. They say God is not visible. We cannot see God. Then how can we believe? See, now let us take this example. In your house, fridge is working. How? TV is going on. The mixer is grinding. Bulb is glowing. What makes them do all this work?
Electricity.
Electric. Are we able to see the electricity?
No.
But just because we don't see electricity, we don't say electricity does not exist. Like that, it is not necessary that God should be visible. See, there is one story. Once there was a king. He also was doubtful whether God exists or not. He was telling God is not visible. How can I believe? So he told in his palace, whoever can come and prove that God exists by any means, I will reward them. Then one young monk, a young boy, he came to the court, that is the palace, and told the king, okay, I am ready to prove God exists, though he is not visible. Okay, you proceed, the king told him. The boy asked for a pot of curd. So they brought curd. The boy said, I don't want this curd. I want the curd which has ghee in that. This curd, I don't know whether it has ghee in that. He went on saying like that. Then the king said, see, you cannot see the ghee in the curd, but you have to churn it. Then you will get butter. Then when you melt it, you will get the ghee. Then the boy told the same thing is with God. Just because you can't see the God, you can't say he doesn't exist. Then the king was convinced and then he rewarded them. So, God in our Sanatana Dharma, we believe God is not only the creator, the whole creation, everything is God. God is everywhere. That is what we believe in our Sanat. That's why we worship mountain also, tree also, river also, everything we worship. So, God is everywhere, but there is only one God. We believe there is only one God.
Okay. Okay. So now we know there is only one God. God is one. Everything that is of God, by God, and everything is in itself God itself. But I wonder, I'm sure you also wonder, then why do we have so many gods? We have so many gods, right? Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, Vishnu, Krishna. We have so many gods. When God is one, why should we have so many forms of God? Why so many gods, right? So let me take you through another story. This king, Birbal's court in this king had this doubt again. Like when you say Birbal that the God is one, but there are so many. We worship so many gods. There are different types of God people worship. Then how can we say God is one? Okay. So what does Birbal do? He asks for a piece of cloth. Okay, he gets it. Then he ties it around his head, and then he calls for a soldier and asks him, like, what is this? The soldier calls it a turban. Then he says, okay, fine, you go. Then he removes the same piece of cloth and then wraps it around his waist. He calls another attender and he asks him, what is this? That attender says, this is a dhoti that you have wrapped around your waist. Okay, then he removes the same piece of cloth and wraps it over his shoulder. And then he again asks the king himself, now what is this? The king says, this is a shawl that you're wearing. So through this story, what Birbal was trying to say to the king was, do you see that it was the same piece of cloth, okay, with the different body parts that it is covering. The name changes, its form changes. That's why the cloth itself becomes different. But it is called by different names, or it becomes different parts like turban or a dhoti or a shawl. It's a similar logic, right? We have so many functions, so we have gods for each of the functions. For example, okay, who is the god of education and knowledge?
Saraswati Devi.
Saraswati.
Right. Who do we consider as our creator?
Brahma.
Brahma.
Who is the sustainer and preserver?
Vishnu.
And who is the destroyer?
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. By destroyer, we mean that the process of balancing everything and then recycling, right? And who is the goddess of Lakshmi is the goddess of,
Wealth.
Wealth.
Money.
and Parvati is the goddess of
Earth. No.
Durga.
Durga. Durga is for
Valor
power and
and
Shakti,
courage,
valor,
for
courage.
courage.
And Lord Ganesha, we consider him as the god for
removing our obstacles.
yes, exactly, Kushi. So removing our obstacles. So all these functions, we have different forms of God and different names. But then still, why? Why so many? Why should we have so many different, forms of God? That is
Amma,
another
that's the
question.
same thing as asking why do all our body parts have different names?
Exactly, right? So again, see, our human intelligence, right? We have our limitations. Okay, our human intelligence has its limitations, and it is very difficult, to concentrate and focus and connect or relate with God. Okay, without it's easier for us to assign a form or a name and relate to God like that. For example, the same person. Okay, you are the same person, but to your sibling you are a sister or a brother. To your parents you are a daughter or a son. And in your school, for your teachers, you are a student. So you are the same person, right? But you perform different, you behave differently with different people, and so you have different names, and based on your the way that you relate with people, you are called by different names, right? A similar logic goes here, okay? And in our Sanatana Dharma, our Sanatana Dharma gives us a freedom, okay, to connect with God in our own own way. Like, because if you like cricket, you will like to watch a game of cricket. If you like a particular actor, then you would like to watch the movies of that particular actor. So similarly, for us to connect to God, to relate to God, our Sanatana Dharma gives us the freedom to choose our personal God, to kind of have so many gods and then choose whom we want to, for where it could be depending on the functions that we want to assign to them, for different, or it could be the our favorite gods, which we also call as Ishta Devata, right? So choosing God. Okay, so in the next class, what we will do, we will talk about your all of your favorite. You can come up with one of your Ishta Devata, and why you like that particular God. You can come up with a explanation for it. One God, one Ishta Devata for each of you, and why do you like that particular God. You can come back in the next class and then tell us. Okay.
So all of you, each and every one of you will have to come ready with the name of your Ishta Devata. Okay, now it's a long time since you learned a bhajan. So for how many of you Hanuman is Ishta Devata?
My brothers.
Many of you, I think boys mostly.
Ma'am,
This is
this is Hasini. I have both, ma'am, Hanuman and I have Lord
okay.
Krishna.
That's about the details. And if you have any doubt about the topic which we discussed today about God and all, you can put your questions in the group. Whatever doubts you have, we'll try to answer them in the next class. Okay?
But we can have many Ishtadevatas also, right?
Yes, totally.
So, who is ready to repeat the bhajan now? Volunteer.
Amma, this is Hasini.
Krishna,
Okay, we'll start with Hasini.
ma'am, can I do next?
We'll get chance to people who have not
Yes, today,
participated
whatever
chanting.
little
Okay.
time we have today, and we'll continue with the bhajan next week also. सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
Sitaram Hanumanta. Ram Sita Hanumanta.
हनुमंत सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
Sitaram Manta. Ram Sita Hanumanta.
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
Sitaram Hanumanta. Ram Sita Hanumanta.
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
Sitaram Hanumanta. Ram Sita Hanumanta.
These two lines you will learn today. Who is the next one? Volunteering?
Sai.
Ma, this is Nitika. May I?
Okay,
This is Krishna.
Nitika. Okay,
This
Nitika.
is Rakshit.
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत राम
Sita Hanumanta.
सीताराम हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत
राम सीता हनुमंत
राम सीता हनुमंत
Next, Vaishnavi sisters. Okay. सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमंत राम सीता हनुमंत
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
V Vaishnavi. Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Krishna Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Sai next. Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्त राम सीता हनुमन्त
No, Ram Sita Hanumanta.
राम सीता हनुमन्त
Very good. Sitaram Hanumanta Ram
राम
Sita
सीता
Hanumanta.
हनुमन्ता
Nikila, muting you.
सीताराम हनुमन्त राम सीता हनुमन्त
Sitaram Hanumanta Ram Sita Hanumanta.
Amma, should I continue?
Yes.
सीताराम हनुमन्त राम सीता हनुमन्त
Second line. Sitaram Hanumanta. Repeat that part only.
सीताराम हनुमन्त
Very good. Rama Sita Hanumanta.
राम सीता हनुमन्त
Vishruta. Sitaram Hanumanta. Rama Sita Hanumanta.
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Sitaram Hanumanta. Rama Sita Hanumanta.
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Virat. Sitaram Hanumanta Rama Sita Hanumanta
राम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Sitaram Hanumanta Rama Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमन्ता राम सीता हनुमन्ता
Okay,
Last
last
Rakshita.
one Rakshita. We'll end with Rakshita today. Rakshita. Sitaram Hanumanta Rama Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमंता राम सीता हनुमंता
Rama Sita Hanumanta
राम सीता हनुमंता
Sitaram Hanumanta Rama Sita Hanumanta
सीताराम हनुमंता राम सीता हनुमंता
Okay. First line most of you have learnt now. We'll continue with the bhajan also next week. And then Ishta Devata. We will. Each and every one of you should come up. Not only name of Ishta Devata, why it is your Ishta Devata, very briefly. Okay?
Over
Now
to
we'll hand
Hema.
over to Hema.
Thank you, Sudha ma'am. Just give me a minute. My throat is. I'm sorry for that, children. Okay, we will go ahead with storytelling. And forgive me if I cough a bit in the middle. Just recovering from a viral, so my throat isn't too well. Today, children, just like Sudha ma'am and Soumya ma'am told you about nature, and nature is God, isn't it? So, on the same theme, we are going to be
We'll wait for Hema ma'am to come back. I think she's on mute. She has to wait for a few minutes.
sorry.
While we
No, I'm all right now. So
okay.
we're going to talk about nature and how the nature is actually a god to us. We will be learning that through a story which shows it about relationship of a boy, young boy, with a tree. I'm going to share the story now. So this story is either it is called the tree, sacrifice of the tree, or the giving tree, the tree which kept on giving. So there was this boy and this tree, and it is a story of unconditional love of nature. What is this word unconditional love? You know, if you have a pet at home, if you have a dog at home, you will know about unconditional love. Yes, Sainisha.
Amma, it means that you don't have a good relation with
No,
something.
no, 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 no. Unconditional means they put no
Amma, it means
condition.
no matter what the circumstance, it always loves you.
Yes, no matter what you do, your pet dog will love you. You will kick it one day also, it will come back and sit and lick your feet. Okay, unconditional. Same way, the nature, how much ever we are destroying it, the nature has given, still gives us oxygen, still gives us food, still gives us water. So it is unconditional now. No conditions put. You do good to me or bad to me, I will do only good to you. That is what is the law of nature. Okay. So this was such a friendship between a boy and a tree. There was a tree which stood, apple tree actually, which stood tall and green on the edge of a forest overlooking, a beautiful river. And, you could see the sunset and sunrise from this point, and the entire forest was visible to this tree from this vantage point on the hill. It had got millions of leaves, and the green leaves blew graciously in the wind. And and the entire scene was like as if you were in heaven. At that time, one boy gets fascinated by this tree, and he would see this tree, he would see the birds sitting on this tree and enjoying themselves on the branch of the tree. And he would see that it's such a beautiful and a happy tree. So he started coming every day. After his time in school, he would come home on the way, walk through the forest, sit with the tree, play with the tree, jump on its branches, talk to the tree. And this is a story. The tree would talk back to him. And for hours, he used to share whatever he's doing. He's a young boy going to school, maybe third standard, fourth standard boy. Okay. And the trees would listen and laugh and enjoy with this boy, and they became such good friends. Okay. This boy would swing on the branches, pluck the apple trees, and eat them. And he would tell the tree, "Oh, my dear tree, I could live here forever. It's so beautiful. I can see the sunset. I can see the sunrise. I can see the lovely river flowing by and the lush green forest." The tree would be very happy, feeling that, yeah, the boy will never leave me. He will live here forever. And the tree would say, "Yeah, this forest is my home, my boy, and I'm very happy to share all the beauty and bounty of the forest with you." So days grew by, and the boy started going to middle school, then to high school, and he got new friends. And as he started making friends, obviously, he started spending time with his friends, but would not talk or spend so much time with the tree. But the tree would cherish whatever little time the boy would spend with him. The boy would, and he would tell the boy, once the boy came, he was a young boy just going into college, just, applying for colleges. And he said, "You can live here forever. You can always be happy in this area." The boy says, "My dear tree, you can be happy. You have no responsibilities. But I have got responsibilities. I have to go to college. I need money. I have to build my future. Without that, what can I do? I need more to be happy. So the tree thinks and says, fine, you want money? Then I have got thousands of apples on my tree. Okay, you need money? Take. I can't see you being sad. Take my apples. Take my apples, boy. Go and sell them in the market and make money for yourself. The boy immediately agrees. The boy immediately agrees and he goes up, he climbs a tree and he says, thank you, my dear tree. You're my best friend. You're the best person I know. He starts carrying the apples to the market and selling them. And day by day, what happens? He makes enough money to go into college. And once he goes to college, obviously, once he started studying, he stayed away for a long time. Years passed by, the trees kept waiting for the boy to come. It stood tall on the edge of the cliff, waiting. The boy came back. The boy was coming, and immediately the tree shook with joy, shedding its apple down for the boy to eat the apple. Says, come, boy, come. You have come after so many years, but never complain. Great. He just says, welcome. Come and climb my tree, sit on my branches. This boy, who is not exactly a boy now, he's a young man. He says, I don't have time to climb trees, my dear tree. I don't have time to play and eat apples with you. I have responsibilities. I have a wife and children. Tree is very happy. He says, he's so thrilled. Oh, you have a family of your own. This is what you wanted. Now you're happy, no, my boy. The boy says, I'm not happy. I need more. I need so much more in life. I would be happy if I could build a house for my family. If I could keep my family warm and safe, then I would be happy. The tree cannot see this boy sad. He says, I have no house to give you. This forest is my house, but I have strong, sturdy branches. Come on, boy, climb my tree, cut the branches, and go and build a home for your family. The boy is so happy. Thank you, dear tree. He climbs up the branches and cuts them deep, deep, absolutely till the tip of the tree. He cuts all the branches. He calls a truck and he carries away the branches and he builds a home for his family. The tree was very happy to help, even though it has lost all these branches. Now, this tree was a very old tree. For it to regrow the branches and leaf was a difficult task. It could not do it. It just stood as a long trunk. It was not a tree, now it was a trunk. Okay, but he was happy that my dear friend and my boy is having a house. He's happy, so I am happy. The birds which used to come could not sit on the tree. They could not, roost on it because there were no branch leaves for it, no place to make nest. So the tree became lonely, but it stood there waiting for the boy to come back. And as it stood there, it sees slowly the entire forest around it. All trees were being cut and the greenery was lost. Instead, what was built in place of it? A city, a township, okay, buildings, cars, electricity, factories, all that. And it sees all this standing a silent witness to all this, feeling very sad. And one day, this young man comes back, the boy, who is now a grown-up man, not a young man. He's the middle-aged man. You see, his hair is gray. The tree is so happy, he's laughing and saying, come, come, boy. But the boy goes silently, sits leaning against the tree and starts crying. The tree is so sad. My boy, you're not happy? Are you still not happy? You got money, you got college education, you got a house for your family, and you have a business. Now why are you crying? He says, no, my wife left me and my children have grown up and they don't care for me anymore. I'm depressed. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I want a change of scene. I want to go away on a boat. I want to sail on a boat, go into the water, live on an island and meditate and find happiness there. I want to go far away from here. Here, I'm not happy. So he wants to be on a boat. How can the tree help him? The tree says, okay, fine, I have a trunk left. No, cut my trunk and build a boat. You be happy. My dear boy, I want you to be happy. So the young man is so happy. He says, oh, thank you, tree. You're my best friend. Immediately he brings a power saw, electric saw, and this 200-year-old tree, he cuts the entire trunk. and makes a boat for himself. He looks happy. For that moment, he's very happy. Oh, now I've got my boat. I'm going to go into my island. I'm going to be on water for months together. I'm going to meditate and I'm going to be happy. The trunk, now he's no longer a trunk. The tree has become a stump. The stump of the tree watches him sail away and becomes very happy. Oh, my boy is going to get happiness finally. Now my life, is successful. And he's only a stump, but he stands at the edge of the cliff waiting for the boy to come back. No leaves, no branches, no trunk, no fruits, no flowers, no birds to give him company. But he waits. He waits and he waits. Many, many years pass by. The tree is so lonely. Finally, this boy, no, no, not a boy, this old man found happiness, comes back searching for his tree. But he sees the entire place has become a city, a township. Oh my God, how can I find my tree? There's no trees around. But suddenly he climbs up the mountain. I'm wondering, can I find it? Ultimately, he sees the stump over there in the edge of the cliff. He runs to the cliff edge. The tree is so happy, but this man is having breathing difficulties, kind of old man now. So the tree says, my boy, you're not able to breathe. He says, yeah, there's so much of pollution over here. It's not fresh as it was before. He says, are you not happy? He says, no, I'm so old. The tree says, I wish I could give you apples. The man says, I don't have teeth to eat your apples. I wish you could swing on my branches. The man says, I don't have, my bones are old and aching. I cannot climb anything. So the stump is so sad. He says, only thing I want now is peace of mind. I want to sit and rest for a long time. Immediately the stump says, things, yes, I have something to offer you. He straightens his old stump. He says, I'm just a stump, but one thing you can do, you can sit on me and rest. So this boy, come, sit on my stump and take rest. You're old and weary, your bones are aching. Sit and we will watch the nature together. The boy, the boy or the old man, as we can call him now, for the tree, he was always a boy. He sat and took a deep breath and said, oh, this is happiness. This is the soft breeze, the river, the sunset. Even though it has changed, but then there is some amount of nature left here on this tree. And he feels, now I feel happiness. Now I can meditate. And he tells the tree, you have the best view. You have everything. What I kept searching for was here, but I kept roaming around. And the story gives us a story that the relationship of nature with man is an everlasting one. We cannot run away from nature. We'll try to run away for material needs, but ultimately we will come back to nature to find our happiness and peace of mind. We need to respect and preserve Mother Earth, preserve forests, and preserve nature. That is the story of the relationship between boy and the tree. And at some levels, is a relationship of all of us, all are humans with nature. Tree, water, sunlight, air, everything. Right? Now we go to quiz time. So as usual, you will unmute, tell me your name and answer. Who was dependent on whom? Tree on the boy or vice versa? Boy on the tree. Krishna has raised his hand. Krishna, unmute and answer.
Amma, the boy was dependent on the tree.
More, right? Do you all agree? Give a thumbs up. Do you agree that the boy was dependent on the tree more, the tree was dependent on the boy? Can you tell one function where we depend on the trees and trees depend on us without us knowing we are doing something for the trees? Can anybody think of it? What we are doing every second of the day? Be more specific. Exhaling carbon dioxide. Who said that?
Virat.
Very good. Fantastic. At every second of the day, we are giving out carbon dioxide, which the plants are using, and the plants are giving out oxygen, which we are using. So even without knowing it, we are helping nature. This interdependency has been created by the creator. So if one species goes off, the other species also will go away, will become extinct, right? Okay. Is there anything you can think of that you can give to a tree? The tree kept on giving, but what can you give to a tree? Who will answer this?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, yes. Then?
Amma, shall I tell we Vaishnavi?
Vaishnavi, yes, please.
Amma, we can give our
Precious time to the tree.
Fantastic. Yes, we can give a precious time to the tree. That is what is needed. Anything else? Who will answer? Anything else we can give to trees? Yes.
We can give water.
Water. We can nourish them, right? We can give them fertilizer. We can give them space to grow, right? Right condition, right temperature, right amount of light for it to grow. Okay. Next question. In how many ways did the tree help the boy?
Amma, this is Hasini.
Hasini, yes, please.
Amma, at first the tree helped him by giving its apples.
Yes.
Next, the tree helped him by giving its branches to
Yes.
him.
Yes.
And then it helped
Branches
by
for
giving
what?
it
Branches for what?
branches for building his house.
Yes.
And bark for making a boat.
Yes. The trunk for making a boat. Yes.
And
Finally, the stump.
and the stump for sitting.
Yeah, for resting. Very good. Excellent. The next question. The tree observed the changing city and forest changing, isn't it? How are forests changing nowadays?
Amma.
Yes. Who is this?
Hi, Nishant.
Sai Nishant. Yes.
Now it's like very super rare to check to see nature nowadays,
Hmm.
but now this is actually helping a lot. Everyone are making their house beautiful by putting plants, so this is also helping at nature.
Somewhere we are starting to help nature also. Very good. That's a positive thought. Okay. But how is the forest changing nowadays?
It's turning cities, towns,
Yes, yes. Who
where
said that?
large buildings are built.
Yes,
Vaishnavi.
very good. The cities and towns are being built and forests are getting smaller and smaller. Rainforests of Amazon are getting shrinking. So imagine what will happen with the water cycle. This is right. So the forests are slowly dwindling. The species living in the forests are going down because they don't have a forest to live in. Soil erosion is taking place. The soil is becoming barren and desertification is increasing. We see the area of deserts has become much, much more in the last one century. Okay. Right. Next question. Could the boy have helped the tree in any way?
Yes, Amma.
Yes, yes, I.
He could have actually gave water and warmth to it, but actually in the story he did not because he could not help him, but he could actually help him by giving him the germination needs.
Yeah, maybe he could have planted some more seeds, no?
Can I tell?
Yes, who is that?
Vaishnavi, he could spend
Yes.
time with the tree because it expected him to be happy and like
The tree did not.
wanted to
Yes.
spend time with him.
Amma, this is Hasini, shall I?
Very nice. Yes.
Amma, he could have planted another tree aside of the tree to give company to it.
Correct. So nice. Lovely. That's a nice answer. Yes. Okay. Next question. If a beautiful tree was your friend, how would this story have panned out? What would have been in the story?
Virat, can I answer?
Yes.
Amma, this is Krishna.
Now, Virat answered first, then Krishna. Okay.
Amma, so if the beautiful tree was my friend, if I needed anything, I would go speak with it, and if it gave it back, I would try to return it. For example, if once the leaves were broken and the branches and all,
Yes.
since it felt lonely, I could have maybe planted more trees or else made an artificial nest area,
Yeah.
etc., where I would have helped the tree for helping me. So I'm basically repaying what has been done for me.
Very good. Very good. Repaying thought should be there. Yes, Krishna wanted to say something.
Yes, Amma. Amma, if a beautiful tree was my friend, the story. I don't think the story would have panned out any short of way because uh, I would have liked the boy be engrossed in so much of my tasks, and if I got something, I would ask the tree for more, and I would never be happy. So I don't think the story would have panned out.
Handout means will it be in the same
Yes,
direction, same story, or would have been a different story?
Ma'am, it would be the same story because we are so engrossed in our daily activities.
Okay, you're very honest. Good, you're very honest. That means we all are ultimately, we are dependent on trees and we want homes, we need paper to write on, we need boats, we need fruits, right? Okay, that's an honest answer, but somewhere we have to try to, even though being dependent on trees, we have to try to also maintain the trees, right?
But this is Rajni, shall I?
Yes.
Amma, if I would be with if there was a beautiful tree as my friend, I would have made a house there, and I would be with the tree forever over there, and I would live happy with it.
Very nice. So with small bonds, you would be happy. Good, good. Okay, thank you, children. That was a nice, very good answers from all of you. And we now hand over to Lakshmi ma'am for closing prayers.
Amma is there. Amma wants to tell something before closing. Amma?
Amma is, let me just check. I can't see Amma there.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. So children, that was a beautiful story. Have to thanks a lot to Hema ma'am with great difficulty with throat trouble and all. Still she continued. So nice of you. All children were inquiring about you, Hema, last week.
Yes.
They wanted your presence.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was traveling and I was not well both. I'm sorry.
Very, so nice of you. Okay, so we will close the prayers, close the session today with the prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Namaste, Amma.